All right, so I've got quite the title there. I could probably spend my 3 minutes just trying to explain exactly what some of those terms mean, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to try and get at the heart of this matter through a brief story. So a couple of weeks ago, 3 students who I worked with last year came to the park, and they were interested in checking up on some of the service projects that they had done with me. One of the projects that they were particularly interested in was the construction of a brush check dam, which was intended to reduce channelization and the impacts of excessive sediment loads in a tributary of Tryon Creek. So what I'm here to talk about is why, after a year, these students, who I should note were also at-risk students, were still interested in the service projects that they'd completed a year prior. For starters, the service projects that these students completed were not your traditional high school service projects where the students come, complete a project, and go home without ever having to reflect or to think critically about why they were doing the service in the first place. Instead, I designed every service project so that it would enhance and provide a lived basis for the sustainability-related content that we would cover during our year together. So, for example, the construction of the brush check dam was intended to help the students understand issues of sustainability relating to urban development. So in order to really get involved in this process, the students and I explored the park and the watershed as we uncovered the impacts of surrounding impervious surfaces and also stormwater systems. We then sort of delved deeper into this issue as I trained the students to take water quality samples and to monitor the creek and its tributaries using current protocols. We also found plenty of time for learning native plants, witnessing ecological relationships, and finding salamanders. As we journeyed together, the students and I also shared stories and conversations that were intended to help the students realize that any situation can potentially be thought about from multiple perspectives. The reason I did this is that I wanted to provide the students with the tools to evaluate competing knowledge claims and essentially to think critically. I also wanted to help the students develop a sense of place. I think that if we want students to truly understand issues of sustainability, we need to provide them with the opportunities to be part of the knowledge construction process, but also to allow them the time and the space to develop the emotional connections that will keep them interested and motivated and inspired in spite of many of the hardships that they will face. Thanks.